it's Aliyah. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already a subscriber. It is day 2 of Vlogmas, and I have a story time for y'all. So if you saw my Jamaica vacation part 2, then you already know that the story time was coming. So let's just hop right into it. Also, the Vlogmas, if you don't know, I will be posting every day leading up to Christmas. So this is just day 2. So anyway, so when we went to Jamaica, it was, I want to say 11 of us. We had like a pretty decent sized group all going, and you had to schedule your COVID test, and you could get COVID tests on the resort, but I also saw options for COVID tests on the island when we were coming in, and we all we peeped them. So half of our group had scheduled the COVID test like as soon as they arrived, and they got them done. The other half of us, because we had like some latecomers, we scheduled together, but even though like the 2 people that came late, like we scheduled half and half. So one scheduled as soon as we got there, the other scheduled like 2 or 3 days before we left, because we got there on Wednesday, we left on Sunday, right? I think so. Let me double check. Let me just make sure. But yeah, so I think we got there on Wednesday, we left on a Sunday, and I think I scheduled my COVID test. So I had to schedule it Thursday or Friday. I don't know. But it was 3 of us that went to schedule it at the same time. Like we were all sitting together, all had our passports together, and we scheduled it at the same time in the same party. So we all, like when I say we scheduled it together, like we all scheduled it together. So it's 3 of us in this particular party when we scheduled it. And I think 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 6 of us in total were 7, maybe 7 of us were the ones that are in the second set of COVID tests. So you schedule it and you have to pay when you schedule it, which is not the experience that I've had previously, where it's like you schedule it and then you pay when you get the COVID test. That's the way I experienced it traveling internationally previously. But you have to pay right there. It was $45 test. And around the island, when I saw it in other places, it was about $50 because we had to get a rapid antigen test, not a PCR test. The PCR test was like $150. So we got rapid antigen because that's what's required to come back to the States. Cool. Okay. Went ahead and paid it. So we all have paid up. They give you a sheet of paper. Like we physically get a sheet of paper. I might actually still have it, but you physically get a sheet of paper when you schedule it and you fill it out. It has your information, like your room number, so they can give you your results, your email address, blah, blah, blah. So great. Okay. The next day we go and we have a scheduled time to get our COVID test. So one of our friends goes and stands in line, and we're all scheduled together. So we're like, okay, we'll meet you there, whatever. The line, astronomical, atrocious, not moving. Okay, it was such a long line. It was such a long line. If I didn't say where we stayed at the Ocean Corral Spring in Tawani, Jamaica. We flew into Montego Bay, but I think we stayed in Tawani. I think that's how it's pronounced. Don't quote me on that. Standing in line, the line's not moving. It's this lady and her husband, and I guess like their grandpa, like standing behind us, and she kind of slides in front. I was like, this is like, she kind of maneuvers in front of me. So that was already a thing. And her husband turned and she was like, well, what time was your appointment? I was like, I don't even remember what time it was, but I was like, whatever the time was supposed to be. He's like, well, we've been standing in line longer than you, and you were cut in front of everybody, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, shut up. I was like, I don't care. Genuinely, I don't care. And so me and my friend, it's 3 of us that are standing in the spot that we're standing in, and 3 of them standing in the other spot, slightly behind us. And so me and my friend are talking, and we're like, girl. And she's like, oh, the thing was, none of us are from Chicago. I'm from Indiana. The other girl that I was with is from Florida, and then the other girl is from, most of the people are from Florida and Georgia, but I live in Georgia and take on Southern mannerisms at this point, and I've lived here since 2014. But anyway, She was like, yeah, Chicago like me and my friend, she was like, yeah, she gonna get or said something about Chicago stuff. I don't even remember who we talked about the lady. I think we were talking about the lady. And the lady turns and she's like, I'm from Chicago too. I was like, bitch, ain't nobody even from Chicago. I was like, no one cares. Nobody's even from Chicago. And so we get into an actual argument at that point. I'm like, don't nobody give a fuck. Like, go play in traffic, bitch. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to fight in Jamaica. Like, I had already made up my mind. I was like, I'm gonna go to jail in Jamaica. I was like, fuck. I was like, my boyfriend not back. Like, who gonna bail me out of jail in Jamaica? Because I'm fighting Jamaica. Don't make me fight in Jamaica. And like, I wasn't even mad, but like, I know how stuff goes sometimes. I wasn't mad. I was like, my nails, I was like, I can't really pop my nails off, so I'm just gonna, like, that was the thought process at that point. And so I still wasn't mad, but like, then the friend who's like standing slightly in front of us, she turned around and she's like, lady, you need to chill out with all that. And then the lady turns and starts yelling at her. That's what really made me hot, because I'm like, bitch, I will fuck you up. Like, don't talk to her like that. Like, me, it is what it is, because whatever, but you're not gonna turn around and yell at her when she's trying to like de-escalate the issue. Shut up. And so I was just like, at that point I was like, damn, I'm fighting Jamaica. It's crazy. I was like, I'm gonna jump this lady in Jamaica. It is what it is. But the nurse, we're standing toward the front of the line, we're like the next two set of people up. The nurse comes out and she's like, I will shut this whole line down, you guys better stop. And I was like, bitch, I want to go home. I really do want to go home at this point, so I'm gonna take my ass home, and I'm gonna shut the hell up, because I'm gonna take my ass home, because I want to go home. I'm not gonna act like I don't want to go home. I missed my bed. I was just ready to go home, and I got school the next day, so I was like, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I ain't gonna say nothing when you leave, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You right? Okay, cool. So we stopped talking, and then my friend who's in front of us went in, and then it was me and my other friend standing behind her, and then we let the lady and her crusty ass husband go. Stupid bitch. Talking about I'm from Chicago. Don't nobody care. No one cares. You look like you can't fight. Ugly. Stupid. I don't even be fighting like that, y'all. don't let this little rowdy behavior get you tight. I don't even be fighting like that. I got too much to lose. So if you're concerned. So anyway, they went in, and it took them for fucking ever. Like I said, her husband, her crusty ass grandpa daddy, whatever, that man looked 104. I don't care. And so they went ahead and it took them forever. And I guess that was the problem. That was what was holding up the line, because whoever was scheduling the COVID test the day that we went and scheduled, because a lot of people had this problem. It wasn't just our party who had this issue. It was a lot of people, and a lot of people ended up doing what we went and did, but I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. So it took them forever. They finally came out. So the lady comes back, and we have our paper. Here's our paper. She's like, what's your name? What's your room number? Me and my friend that we're standing here with, that I was standing there with still, our names were on the list. We scheduled our COVID test at the same time. Neither of our names were down, like, and she was like, I just don't want to have to generate the names anymore. And I told management, like, I'm not taking any more people if their names are not generated on the list. So it was she didn't want to take us because we weren't generated on the list, which had absolutely nothing to do with me at that point. But I'm already a little spicy, and I'm like, and I didn't curse her out, because I get it, you're the only person that's doing this job. And I was like, I understand, and like, people are hot and upset because they got to stand in line, and you got to sit there and generate the the information, and then proceed to give the test. So I get it. I didn't curse her out. I was just like, that's fucking stupid. And she was like, no, I'm not taking anybody else. I was like, well, because I also assumed that she had to generate some information for either, like, at least one person in the party before us. That stupid lady and her stupid ass husband and her stupid ass, crusty ass, raggedy ass grandpa. Anywho, so boom. So me and my friend, and then our friend, there are some more friends behind us, and I didn't even talk about, like, they running up, because like when the lady started yelling, like, I'm telling you, this lady was gonna get jumped. It's 5 of us standing in this line. That lady was gonna get jumped in Jamaica. You ain't want no smoke, bitch. But anywho, but it all de-escalated. So they went back to their space in line. They're standing behind us. And so when the nurse told us that like we couldn't get a COVID test because she didn't want to generate any more information, I was like, that's fucking dumb. That's fucking stupid. She's like, well, it's taking so much, and I was like, that's fucking stupid. This is fucking stupid as fuck. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's when I started getting angry because she had attitude at that point. So I was like, all right, bitch. I was like, all right, heard. And left and told our friends that were behind us, because they were like, oh, what's wrong? What's happening? And I was like, oh, boo, boo, boo. Told them what's going on. And they just walked up to the nurse. They like skipped everybody that was in front of them. And there was another lady like right behind me. Her and her friend were right behind me. Her friend's name was on the list. Her name wasn't. And her friend did the same scheduling situation, but her friend's name was on there, hers wasn't. Me and my friend's name, we both scheduled together. Neither of our names were on the list, and it was a bunch of people. Like, it just kept going. And so she stopped at that point. She stopped taking the people that didn't want that their names weren't generated. So it wasn't just us, okay? It wasn't just us. It was a bunch of people, a lot of them, okay? Going to various places, needing various COVID tests, already having paid their money. And again, the tests were $45 or $150, because these were not all, like, we're not all American. Whatever. I was like, all right, bet. Walk. I take my ass to the front, go to the front desk, and I was like, I need to speak to a manager right now. Who's the manager on, like, who's the manager on service? Like, who's the manager? I need to talk to a manager at this very moment. And they're like, oh, you have to go to guest services. There's a line, there's another line, and there's the people scheduling their COVID test. And then there's this other couple that's in that line talking to guest services, but they had the same issue previous to us where their names were not on the list. Their names were not generated. So they had made it in there before me. And like, I'm cool, I'm pretty chill at this point. I'm not cursing at him or nothing, or like cursing at anybody. I was just like, I need to talk to a manager. I need to talk to a manager. Boom. I end up getting the manager before they did, because I don't think that they asked to talk to a manager. They were just waiting in line for guest services. But I was like, no. Head honcho. And then the man that I ended up talking to, he wasn't even a manager. But anyway, his name was Earl. I'm gonna call you out, Earl, because anyway. So I make it in there first, and I'm texting one of my other friends, and I'm like, hey, like, ask if we can. I already had a contingency plan made up in my mind. I was like, if this bitch not gonna give me a fucking COVID test here, I was like, we can go to the island and I can get a COVID test, because I saw that they do rapid antigen tests. And I was like, it's easy. I had a contingency plan. I was like, at this point, just give my motherfucking money back. And yes, but $45. But again, I was like, externally, I was pretty calm. I was pretty chill. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'm like in a group chat, and I'm telling them what's going on. So the people that are in the line, like, some of them were able to get theirs, some of them were not. I think 6 of us end up needing to get COVID tests elsewhere. So I'm texting a friend. I'm like, hey, you know, can our driver take us to get COVID tests on the island? That was my idea. I just wanted my money back, and I just wanted to make sure I got my money back, and that was it. And I was just gonna leave it at that. Now, another person in our group, he was spicy. Am I gonna call you by name? I don't know. But another person in our group, he was spicy. So our entire party that needed to get COVID tests, that our names were not on the list, we ended up there first. We were the first group there, like, full set in stone. And the lady behind me, who her friend's name was on the list and her name wasn't, and I was like, well, bitch, you finna be in our family right now, because we finna get this all taken care of right now, today, at this very moment. I'm not finna play with these bitches no more. Right? So homeboy comes in, and he's with our party. He's like, Earl, I need to see Earl. Where is Earl? A little ghetto, a little loud, but we got done what we needed to get done, and it is what it is at this point. And I was like, I'm already waiting on Earl. Like, we gotta go. We got something to fucking do. Earl finally comes out the fucking office. He'd been sitting in the fucking office for a while. Bitch, I saw you. I fucking saw you. Don't worry about it. And he comes out, and I was like, so they wanted to just have Earl, like, take us to the line and tell the nurse lady, because we had plans. We were leaving, like, we were leaving the resort. And he wanted to, like, they wanted us to, our other friends, they were like, whatever. He's like, no, I can't take you to the front of the line. What the fuck type of manager are you, pussy? Anyway, bitch. He's like, no, I can't take you to the front of the line. I was like, okay, just give everybody our money back. So some of us paid in cash, some of us paid in car. I paid on the car. I still haven't got a refund. And I've been back from Jamaica since November. Man, when did I get back? Let's see. Today is December 1st. And I've been back from Jamaica. Oh, I was like, what is that? I was like, I don't have a... I was so scared. Since the 14th. I still haven't gotten a refund. I have not received a refund. Me and somebody else paid with a card, and some other people paid with cash. So 2 cash refunds, 3 cash refunds, 3 card refunds. I did not receive a refund yet. I don't know if the other person in our group received a refund, but I have not, if you're curious. So but yeah, so we end up getting refunds, and it took fucking forever. It was the slowest process to begin with, but he's like, oh, you know, but I still don't understand, like, why you couldn't take us to the front of the line. Like, why couldn't we just, like, supersede this and go to the front of the line and tell the lady to take us? And it's because he wasn't a manager. He wasn't the property manager or whatever. I guess he was like the assistant manager, so he ain't have no real pull. Pussy again. So he didn't have any real pull. He couldn't fucking do anything. And so I'm like, because I paid in a debit card, like, shouldn't you be able to give me this back in cash, like, whatever? So that was the whole thing. Again, still haven't got the refund. I have the papers, and I know that I have the papers somewhere in this house, because I know I didn't throw them away, because I know I didn't get a refund, because my bank lets me know when it's like green, you know. But whatever. So still haven't received a refund. And the lady who was standing behind us, she came into the office with us, and he had to, like, go family by family giving refunds. I don't know what other people's situation was, but by the time we came out of the office, and mind you, it was 6 of us that got COVID tests. By the time we came out of the office, it's a hall. It's a motherfucking hall of people behind us saying the same shit. I don't know what their whatever was, but we just went ahead and got the refund and went on the island and got COVID tests, and they COVID tested us, and we spent like $30 on the COVID test a piece. The only thing is you had to pay in card, so that was the thing. But then the people who end up getting, the people in our party whose names were on the list and they did get COVID tests on the island, I mean at the resort, their birthdays were wrong, their names were misspelled and stuff, and you were supposed to get your COVID test like within like an hour period. We have been gone all day. They didn't get their COVID test till like the morning that they were leaving. It was a mess. Like, they got back and they didn't have their results ready, and we got our test like via email in like 30 minutes. How you get somebody's birthday wrong, but you needed my birthday to check in? You needed everybody's birthday to check in. You needed everyone's information, like front, back, sideways, to check in. You got a card on file, so why are you spelling somebody's name wrong? Why is your birthday incorrect? So they had to change that, and that was a whole thing. But yeah, so y'all made it back safely. Earl, I'm gonna shoot you a fucking text message after I record this video, because it actually did dawn upon me that I actually haven't gotten a refund. My refund hasn't been processed, and it's been a couple weeks now, like 2 weeks at this point. So yeah. But I don't think I'll be partaking in staying at that resort anymore. And like, even our driver said that wasn't a great resort, and he gave us a recommendation for a better resort to stay at the next time we want to come to Jamaica, which I'm more like down for, honestly. But yeah, Ocean, the H10 resorts, y'all are not getting any more of my money, because that was trifling. That was very trifling behavior. I was just not a fan. 0 out of 10 personally. Especially for a new resort, but anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. Still technically not resolved, but it is what it is at this point. Like, at this point, it's done. So thanks for watching day 2 of Vlogmas, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.